I'm Kat the Baker, and today I'm going to make Spekulatius cookies, also Spekulus might be known as, but they are German Christmas cookies, also popular in the Netherlands, and they have really nice spices in them. They have nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, ginger, so it's this perfect smell in the house for Christmas time and also to eat, obviously. I have 1 cup of butter. I have 1.5 cups of raw sugar. You can also use light brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of vanilla sugar. You can also do 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I have 3 eggs, and I have 4 cups of flour. I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. I also did 1/4 teaspoon of smoked cardamom, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of anise, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to mix that with a whisk so that you don't get any chunks of baking soda or 1 chunk of more spices. So just mix that up nicely. And this is what gives the cookies its yummy taste with all these spices. I'm going to mix this with a hand mixer or KitchenAid till it's creamy, so about like 5 to 6 minutes, and then add 1 egg at a time. Okay, so a little bit lighter in color, creamy, and then just 1 egg at a time till that is mixed in, and then add the others 1 at a time. I've added all my eggs, and if you add room temperature eggs, they will mix in even faster. I'm going to add half of my dry ingredients, add it in 2 batches, so that way it won't go all over the place. So I just mix this in a little bit and then add the other half and mix it on low. Okay, this is half, and now I'm adding the other half. And the important thing with cookies is you just don't want to over mix it. So just mix until it's combined and then you're good. This is what it'll look like when everything is mixed in. It will be a little bit drier than regular cookie dough, but only because we have to roll it out. So it's a fair amount of flour that's in there for the amount of butter. But this is normal for cookies that are then rolled out. Combine it into like 2 discs and chill it in plastic wrap for about 30 minutes. So now I've cooled my cookie dough enough, and I'm going to cut it in half and start to roll it on a lightly floured surface. And then I'm also going to have my baking sheet ready. You probably need about maybe 2 or 3, and turn on the oven to 350. I have half my dough, but you don't want it super soft. You want it cold but still malleable. And then I also have a little bit of flour on the side just for rolling, since I have my rolling pin. And then I have a couple of Christmas cookie cutters, also a hedgehog because it's cute. And obviously the star is smaller than the reindeer, so I would make 1 sheet pan with just reindeer and then another with the smaller ones, since these will bake faster. And then I also have raw sugar, which I'm going to brush the cookies with cream. You can also brush it with egg, it'll shine more. You just want something to stick the raw sugar to. All right, so I'm just gonna roll it out and then put enough on just so it doesn't stick, and put a little on your rolling pin, a little flour. And also when you bake it, make sure to have parchment on your cookie sheet. So you'll start to feel it gets a little bit stickier, and make sure you put some underneath. And keep adding flour as you need it. Once you brush the cream on top, it'll disappear. So you want this about like 1/4, I would say maybe 1/2 inch, because 1/4 I think is a little too thin. Just make sure it's even. So when you brush along with your hand, you can feel which is thicker and which is thinner. So it helps to roll it both ways, and then also going underneath helps so you don't tear the dough. But the trick is just to have a cold dough. If it's too soft, you tend to roll it a little bit too thin, because it rolls so easily. And also, it will spread more when it's not cold. So this feels pretty even. So I'm going to make some Christmas tree cookies. Okay, so we're cutting the Christmas cookies. I'm going to brush it with a little heavy cream. Just cover it generously. You can also use egg. It will just be shiny, whereas cream is a matte finish. And put on a little bit of raw sugar. You can also put colored sugar on or sprinkles, however you want to do it. And then I'm going to do that to all of them and then put it in the oven. I've cut out all my dough. I have lots of Christmas trees. I did some with cream and some without. In the middle, my chunks. These are the baked ones with the cream and sugar on top. And they spread just a little bit, so leave enough space. But these look nice and crispy. But you see, they're not going to get too dark in color. And then the bottom is just lightly golden. But you don't want them to really get any color to too much, just a little bit. Beautiful cookies next to the lovely Christmas tree. I'm going to show the tree as much as I can because it's so pretty. So these are my finished Spekulatius. And a Christmas tree. Let's try one. The best part. The sugar on top adds nice sweetness, a little crunch. The cookies have a nice crunch to them, but are soft on the inside, which is what you want. So they will bake about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the thickness and the actual size. So I wish you and your family Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoy your own cookie making.